So we have a bit of a bombshell story for you today. Some fantastic reporting by the Demographica Network has blown something wide open that I think we really need to talk about. So you may have heard of the LGB Alliance. They're essentially a group of lesbian, gay and bisexual people who don't believe in trans rights, basically. As you've probably guessed, they took the T out of LGBT, and they don't think they should be, you know, grouped in with trans people, and they think that transgenderism, as they call it, is more of a disease than just a genuine identity that people have. They're an incredibly hateful group, and my personal opinion on them is that they don't stand for equality in any regard whatsoever. They're simply there to help the sort of divide and conquer technique. What happens when the T is now well and truly gone from LGB? Does the B go? Then what about the G and the L? You know, does one of them go? And it's kind of delegitimizing different minority groups, different groups who are still persecuted, and basically splitting up people to stop solidarity, which is how working class people, which is how people in minority groups, which is how people who are gay, lesbian, transgender and bisexual actually, you know, implement change with solidarity. So the LGB Alliance is quite a hateful organisation, right? But the bombshell here isn't that they exist, because we all know about that, but the secret links between the government's top diversity civil servant and the LGB Alliance. That's the bombshell. So, in this absolutely fabulous article, which you should all go and read, the director of the government's Equality Hub held secret meetings with a founder of the notorious LGB Alliance, it's reported. So, Freedom of Information requests have revealed that Marcus Bell, that's his name, held a meeting last year with the founder of the group on the 29th of October, with channels of communication between the two continuing until at least June. Whilst what was discussed at the meeting was not disclosed, before the meeting, the LGB Alliance has requested that the organisations discuss potential cooperation on an alleged cabinet office rewrite of LGBT plus policy across government departments, as well as having an information exchange between the two bodies. The LGB Alliance also sent across all kinds of weird transphobic articles to Bell, which he said he would read with interest. And of course they've also come under fire recently because they were found in breach of Twitter's hateful conduct policy after they posted this quote: "Adding the plus to LGB gives the green light to paraphilias like bestiality and more to all be part of one big happy rainbow family," end quote. So that plus, as we all know, is there to represent people who are asexual or intersex, amongst many other identities, and the article points that out. But of course the LGB Alliance are totally intolerant of anyone that isn't either straight, obviously, lesbian, gay or bisexual. If you don't fit into these very neat categories, we don't want you, right? And they kind of view you as this issue surrounding the culture war, or you're mentally ill, or something like that. And what's deeply concerning about this is that a Twitter account that's allegedly belonging to Bell, so not only has he been in communication with them, but a Twitter account allegedly belonging to him, which follows the LGB Alliance, despite not following any other government stakeholders on LGBT plus issues, such as Stonewall. The account also follows and engages with Twitter accounts which tweet and retweet regular content about transgender rights, including referring to non-binary politician as him, which obviously is a deliberate use of the wrong pronouns, calling LGBTQIA+, that's basically the full version, flags a crock of shit and stating, the more I read about this issue, the more I think that gender reassignment surgery / sex change ops should be illegal. So what we're seeing here is a clear through line. We're seeing a clear link between this very hateful group and someone working in a higher position in the civil service, in the equalities department, right? They're supposed to be responsible for making sure that government policy reflects the general mood of the British public, which is everyone should have equal rights, everyone should have equal opportunities, everyone should be treated fairly, right? Doesn't matter if you're gay, if you're straight, if you're transgender, if you're cisgender, doesn't matter, you know, what race you are, what ethnicity, what gender, you know, it doesn't matter. And here's the really, really tragic thing, the thing that shows how sinister this kind of untoward influence can be when it comes to these hateful groups. The meetings were held just months before it emerged that the Secretary of State for Women and Equalities had reportedly urged government departments to withdraw from Stonewall's Diversity Champions programme designed to create inclusive working environments for LGBT plus people. So this is already affecting the way the government is acting. This is already affecting policy. Now, that's very, very concerning, because not only is this breaking civil service conduct, this is actually affecting people's lives. Now, let's make it clear, 100% crystal clear. Trans rights are human rights, right? It shouldn't be a controversial thing to say, but apparently it is. You know, it isn't part of some weird culture war, social justice battle or something, as the LGB Alliance have said and have alluded to many times. It's nothing like that, right? It's nothing like what the TERF said. TERF standing for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminist. You know, they use these ridiculous pseudo-arguments where, in actuality, trans people just want to live their lives, man. They just want to be who they are and express who they are and feel comfortable in their own skin. We all want that for ourselves. It's just, it's harder for them because there are all these barriers put in place to stop them from being able to transition. It's ridiculous. And now, clearly, the civil service has been communicating with the LGB Alliance. They've been influenced by them in a way that is deeply inappropriate. And now it seems as if other equality-based organisations are now losing out, like Stonewall, who have fought for LGBT rights for a very long time and been a very successful organisation. So, you know, it's deeply infuriating. It's a really shocking story, although I suppose not all that surprising given the rise in transphobia from the British establishment in the last few years. But it's something that has to be fought, and something absolutely has to be done about it. Yeah, so I want to know, you know, in the comments, what are your thoughts? What do you think about this? You know, should Bell resign? Should he be sacked? And of course, you know, how should government policy change to make life easier for trans people and bring about that equality that we all know needs to be there? This has been a really a shocking one today. Thank you all very much for watching, as always, and I'll see you all in the next one.